You know what I'm saying? Hoodrich credit, he's in the building. You see, I had to get my little drip on too, because I know he was coming shining. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching his content, so I had to drip out with him, man.
Coming out of high school, I didn't know what to do with my life. I did know that I didn't want to go to college. So one time he said, if you don't get your finances in order, you're not a real man. And credit is very important. I was like, credit? Damn, I don't know shit about credit, but it doesn't hurt to try. Like, let me search something up. Everything that I searched up with credit when it came to YouTube, the straight suit and ties, man. People on a desk, just boring, man. Fall asleep on their ass. CJ had chains on. You see him right now, you know? I was like, oh shit, chains on. You know, he talking about credit. Like, this shit might not be that boring. Once you find something, stick to it. Oh, somebody talking about drop shipping. Let me tap into drop shipping. Somebody talking about credit. Let me tap into the credit game. This, that. You all over the place, man. You gotta focus on one thing, man.
Credit card stacking game, still busting.
I pull up 2 tabs on one computer and I get the other computer. I pull up another 2 tabs. I pre-fill in the applications on all 4 of those applications. I get a family member right next to me on one computer. We click submit at the same time. Process 4 applications. Take about 5 to 10 seconds for the increase to post. And you know institutions are very sensitive when it comes to recent increase, but they didn't see the increase because you submitted them at the same time. You do this shit with some light TransUnion, you do this shit with Experian, and you do this shit with Equifax. This is how you stack multiple credit cards at the same time. And then also too, if you add some institutions in there that allow you to, now that's a game changer. You know,
Yeah.
that's something light that you can run, man. You know?
He said that's light. Hey, happy, it's your boy, Mr. CJU, with it do, back with another episode. And look, man, if you've been searching anything credit on YouTube, on TikTok, I'm sure you done seen this dude face right here. You know what I'm saying? And this is a long overdue interview with my guy, my motherfucking dog, my special guest, my little big bro now. You know what I'm saying? Hood Rich Credit, he's in the building. You know what I'm saying? You see, I had to get my little drip on too, because I know he was coming shining. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching this content, so I had to drip out with him, man. My bro in the building, Hood Rich Credit. We finna have a great conversation. You know what I'm saying? Talk about credit and your journey and everything you've been doing. And you already know I've been telling you, bro, I'm proud of you, bro. You've
Appreciate it,
been
man.
crushing it,
Appreciate it.
bro. I seen you day one, and now I see you today. And I can't wait to get in this conversation, bro. Like we talked about, this is long overdue.
Let's
So,
run it.
y'all, we got Hood Rich Credit in the building, man. We about to get busy, bro. First of all, how you doing, bro? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling happy to be here. You know, drop some sauce for the people. This is my camera, so I'm gonna look at y'all right
There
now.
we go.
Drop the sauce for y'all. So shit, I'm ready, man. Let's get to it. Let's get the people what they want to hear.
There we go, man. So, again, a lot of people didn't seen you pop off on YouTube and seeing you get busy on TikTok, and they like, bro, iced up, bro,
Yeah.
vlogging, grill diet, living his life, you know, doing this thing, and like they want to tap in because they see that success now. But what I want you to tell the people right now is, let's go back to when you realized the credit game was the way out. You know, take me
For
to
sure.
that time when you said, this sauce right here is a sauce that's really gonna change my life and help me change other people's life. Like, take me back to that time.
For sure. So, you know, beforehand, before I learned about the credit game, man, I come from low income housing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, shit, we don't know nothing about credit. All we knew was like working. Like I used to work landscaping jobs, construction jobs, shit, anything that I can, warehouses. You get what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So obviously, my family, we don't know shit about credit like that. You know, just the basics, but ain't nothing crazy. So, I remember I was a youngin, you know, coming out of high school, and I didn't know what to do with my life. But I did know that I didn't want to go to college. That's something that I always said in school, and I remember that the teachers, I say, they would be like, "What do you want to do with your life?" Yeah, I don't want to go to college. They'll look at me with a crazy face, like, "What college? Yeah." You know what I mean? It's just I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I needed to learn something. I always knew that. So it was like around the pandemic time, you know, everybody was locked in their cribs. And also too, I come from a single mother household and I was raised by all women. You know, I have 2 sisters
Okay.
and my mom. So, you know, you around, you know, just women in general, you seek male guidance. And, you know, I always seek male guidance. So I turned to the online space to seek male guidance. So I remember I had ran across this YouTuber by the name of AMS. I don't know if you know AMS, Alpha Male Strategies. You know, I was just a youngin' just trying to like level up. You know, I was indoors and I was just trying to get busy, man. So I remember one time he said, if you don't get your finances in order, you're not a real man. You know, you got to get your finances in order, and credit is very important. And that stuck with me. I was like, credit, damn. You know, I don't know shit about credit, but it doesn't hurt to try. Like, let me search something up, you know? So I remember when I searched up about credit, I was running across a lot of YouTube videos, but it was mainly guys in suits and ties, you know, sitting in their table talking about credit, and it wasn't really relatable. You know, it didn't really hit my interest. I was like, man, I know I need to learn about credit, but I don't really understand. Like when, you know, I'm listening about credit, when they explaining credit, I don't really resonate. Like it's kind of a little boring, but I know I had to tap in. I'll be in my couch watching like a little credit video from a guy in a suit and tie, and I'll damn near fall asleep. And then one time I ran across your content, Mr. CJU, you know, so I remember I ran across his content. I clicked it. It was very interesting. You know, it said credit in the title, clicked it. And CJ had chains on. You see him right now, you know? I was like, oh shit. You know, chains on, you know, he talking about credit. And I remember you did an analogy about credit when it comes to zips.
Selling weed, yeah.
Selling weed. You know, so I was like, damn, like this shit might not be that boring. It's a little bit interesting. And, you know, I just started running across a lot of CJU's content, just tapping into his content. And eventually I tapped in with him, you know, soaked up a lot of information. You know, I had went through a lot of trials and tribulations with my own credit profile as well. And, you know, I just picked up the game with time, man. But I really resonated with the way he was explaining the credit game. And now y'all see me online, you know, talking about credit the way I talk about credit. You know, I don't try to go the professional route and, you know, the suit and tie sit on the table and explain about credit. I try to mix it up similar to like CJU. He was being himself. So a lot of people was messing with you at the time. I remember that. I would look at the comments. I was like, damn. As soon as he talked about the zips, I immediately clicked with this credit game shit. So like it just, man, like ever since then, man, I added my own twist to it, and you know everything just skyrocketed, man. So that's really like the whole come up when it came to credit.
Man, that's what's up, because I was just like you. You know what I'm saying? I was learning it back in 2016, bro, 2017.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is years before the pandemic. It was so damn boring.
Yeah.
But I was the same way. I knew I needed this sauce, man. And I was just like, you know, I was still in the streets, still running the streets when I was learning credit too. And I just knew that if I made content, bro, to where it came out too square, it wouldn't sound right on camera.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be smooth. But not only that, bro, I was looking to reach people like you. I was like, bro, like, if people don't think I'm that professional, oh well, because I'm talking to the people in the streets anyways. They need help with credit too.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I'm saying? But let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, bro. What I remember when you tapped in, and that's when I should do my coaching, my group coaching calls. Yeah. One thing I remembered about you till this day, and I always knew you was gonna be a star.
Appreciate
you know what I'm saying? Because every single time I did a coaching call, and I would drop something about credit, you used to always take notes.
Exactly.
You used to always, I could see you on the Zoom, and I'd be like, who is this kid with this good hair? Like, you know what I'm saying? You was way younger then, so your face just super young and fresh, good hair. You would just always, like, you would listen, and you would go like this.
Yeah.
And like, you wouldn't say nothing, but you was just, I could see in your eyes, you was just so determined to focus and learn the game. So tell me about that. Like, tell me about your determination to where you didn't fully understand it, but why did you really dive in that deep and take them notes and study like that? Why did it mean so much to you?
I mean, shit, there was really no other way. Like, there was no other route. You know, you have to make something happen. You have to make something shake. So I knew that, you know, I had to change my life. It was no plan B. It was plan A. So this is another thing that I would give advice to the young audience out there. Once you find something, stick to it. A lot of people run across YouTube videos, TikToks about people explaining different businesses, and you all over the place. Oh, somebody talking about drop shipping. Let me tap into drop shipping. Somebody talking about credit. Let me tap into the credit game. Somebody talking about this, that. You all over the place, man. You got to focus on one thing, man. Water that, you know, grass, and you're going to enjoy your fruits of your labor. You get what I'm saying?
That's exactly what you did.
that's the issue with a lot of people. Focus on one thing. So I knew, I was like, man, let me tap into this credit shit. Like, let me really lock into it, man. Obviously, the struggle is what really motivates you as well. It adds that extra drive when you're struggling. You get into the crib, man. You don't got no whip. You got to take the bus to work, or sometimes you borrow your mom's whip, and your mom is telling you, damn, I can't even get out the crib because you always using the whip. You know, shit, situations like that.
Yeah.
You know, it just drives you, man. It takes you to a level where, like, I can't really explain unless you're going through it, you know? So, yeah.
How old was you at that time when you was on the
It
first
was,
calls with me?
I was late 18.
Late
18 when I started tapping into, like, this whole financial shit. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, late 18.
That's good, bro.
So now I'm 22.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah,
like
18.
I seen it in you, bro, and I'm like, there's no way, bro. Because at that time, my audience, I got a lot of younger people tapping in now because it's getting super popular and stuff. We finna get into your marketing content because you really helping the 18 to 25 get into this game. But see, this is the thing about you.
Yeah.
At that time, when I was doing the credit sauce, my audience was a little older still. They was around my age. I was around like 27, 28.
Yeah.
And I was coaching people that was in their early to mid 30s, some in their late 30s because the pandemic had happened, right?
Yeah.
We was talking around those times.
Yeah.
And like those were the people that were struggling the most. Like they were grown people and like they finna lose their jobs, their careers, they house, their ass. They finna lose it all. So they was the main ones tapping in. And then that's why I noticed you. I was like, this guy doesn't look like he's finna lose his career. So he doesn't look that old, you know what I'm saying? So you was so early at 18, bro. That was. But I love what you was talking about shit, the pain and struggle you was going through. That's what made you 18 or not. I don't give a fuck. I need to change this right now.
Yeah.
So what I want to talk about now is, content marketing strategy. Because I remember this. You know what I'm saying? If you want to drop some thoughts on this. When you was learning the game and I started to see you online, you was doing the split like reaction videos to credit. And you was like pointing to other credit, you know what I'm saying? Like how did
other
they
content creators.
Yeah, like, bro, I didn't teach you that. I didn't tell you to do that.
Exactly.
And that when I seen it, I was like, bro, finna take off with this shit. Because, I had to talk. At that time, I'm talking and talking, so I didn't think the reaction videos would work for me. But when I seen you do it, and you did it early when people weren't even really just doing the reaction videos like that.
Exactly.
You did it. You jumped on that early, and I was like, I'm not sure if this gonna work, but I see him on my damn algorithm all the time.
Exactly.
So
And that's the point.
So tell me about that.
Attention is currency nowadays. What I was noticing, I would drop my regular content, but it would get decent traction. Now, when I would do like the reaction videos, for some reason they would hit the algorithm first. So my mind space was like, all right, let me drop these videos right on the rails and on YouTube Shorts as well. And I'm gonna get the traffic first. I'm gonna get the eyes on me first. Once I get the eyes on me, I'm switching over full time to my content. So I really wanted to get the audience first. Then I'll start dropping my content. So it was really what the algorithm like. Like I was just focusing on what gets views. I wanted to get into people's faces. So that's basically it. It was just getting to the people's faces and then drop my content, man.
So what advice would you give to people that's scared or nervous to make content and don't feel like they got their voice yet? Don't feel like they can, talk on camera yet? Would you recommend reaction videos? Run it?
Bro, just hop in the game, bro. Just drop content. Like, shit. If you go back to my old videos, man, like, I was in the spot where, like, man, I get a little nervous on the camera. Like, I would stutter a little bit, but shit, I was still thugging it out. I was still riding it out. So, like, you just really got to put yourself into that position to the point where over time you're going to get used to it. Like, it's just going to be muscle memory. Like, I'm good on talking on the camera. Now I could talk to the camera. I can look at the camera. I can look at this one, this one. I'm not scared. You get what I'm saying? At first, though, I'd probably be a little nervous, but it's just over time, man. Like, you get used to it. Hop in that field. Stop being scared. You know what I'm saying?
Like, so you just had that in you? Like,
I just had it in. I was like, fuck it, man. Let's run it.
Was you worried about being embarrassed when you finally started like talking and stuff? Was you worried about like haters and shit like that?
I will say that at the beginning of my entrepreneurship journey, just in general entrepreneurship, before dropping content, I ain't really like to post like that because I was like, damn, I was a little worried about judgment. People were gonna say, oh, like, what he on? He ain't doing shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I was tripping about judgment. But then one day I said, who gives a fuck? Like, they not gonna pay my bills, bro. I'm gonna just run this shit the way I want to run this shit. I'm gonna live my life on my terms. Who gives a fuck about other people's opinion? We all gonna die one day, so who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? This shit not gonna matter. So it's just a mindset thing. You got to train your mind. Your mind is very important. You know, so yeah.
And you broke through that. So what would you say some things you studied for helping your mind get that strong to where you was ready? I know you already talked about like the struggles, you know, say your past coming up and you want to fight through that. But once you started like making some money and things start to happen, you can start seeing some things going your way. You making some money. You're like, okay, I can get past the being broke part because I can see this thing happening. But what was you doing to sharpen up your mindset to be like, now I'm finna keep going and really take off?
I read a lot of psychology, man.
Okay.
Psychology is what really helped me understanding humans and just in general, man, like the human mind. So this is something I really don't talk about in my content because then people be like, I ain't really trying to tap into this shit. I'm just trying to make some bread. You know, I'm
Right.
trying to make some money. But yeah, that's what really helped me out. Like human nature, understanding people. And like for example, 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. There was a law that really resonated with me. Court attention at all costs. You know, so that's what I really understood. Like people are gonna judge, people are gonna like say what they want to say, bro, but I'm gonna court their attention. I'm gonna use it to my benefit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna exploit it.
There we
I'm gonna
go.
exploit the hate and turn it into something positive.
There we go.
So, you know, just shit like that, man.
No,
Human
that's
nature is
good.
what really
That's
helped
good
me.
because again, y'all, you know, bro tapped in at 18. Y'all hearing how he talk at 22 years old, and this is what I be wanting to tell y'all on my older audience and stuff like that. This is what you up against. You guys that's scared to take risks. You guys are scared to take action. You guys scared to make moves, whether it's with creative or anything you doing in entrepreneurship. Guys, these 18, 19, 20, 22-year-olds, they coming and they hungry and they're growing up in a different era right now with all this content and cameras and shit. And they not fucking around. They
Yeah.
not fucking around. So I'd be like, you know, I'm an OG in the game now, but I don't want to hang with these old ass motherfuckers.
And I'll tell you
I'm
what.
calling the young ones to keep me going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, it's not even 18, man. I'm starting to get messages from 15, 16-year-olds,
Word?
man. They trying to tap into this game early, like very early, man. It's changing up. All these youngins trying to make money nowadays.
So
man.
let's go ahead and get into that now. The credit game. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So you got that's good. You seeing the youngers like under 18 tapping in.
Yeah.
What advice would you give somebody? You know what I'm saying? Let's say they 17, getting ready to have their 18th birthday. You know what I'm saying? And they reached out to Hoodrich and was like, "Hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to turn 18 next month. You know what I'm saying? What's a game plan to get me rolling this credit game? What's your advice?"
Okay, they got to start off their credit profile obviously from scratch. I would recommend them to go where the institutions that are very sweet. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get the institutions that are sweet. And I remember you would always talk about Navy Fed, and Navy Fed is so sweet, man. I'm telling you, they super sweet.
There we
man.
go.
Man, a lot of people, I see a lot of gurus out here telling you, go hit up Capital One for your first credit card.
Yeah.
Me personally, I always tell people, I don't fuck with Capital One. The reason why I don't fuck with Capital One is because they pull all three of your credit reports. When you try to ask for an increase, man, they give you this baby ass limit. I always see people's credit profiles and they still stuck with a $500 Capital One credit card limit. But if you run into Navy, you build a relationship with them because you got to build a relationship. They have to trust you. I always say, compare this shit to real life situations. All right, y'all. People are not gonna trust you if you got a bullshit resume. You get what I'm saying? So, shit, hit up Navy, get a little secure swipe. You got to put up $200 into that deposit. Okay, that's fine. Bank with them, show them some little deposits. If you working a job and you getting a little check, drop it in there. Also, too, get a little pledge loan as well. You got to call up to get a little pledge loan. $250. The $250 is the minimum to deposit into that pledge loan. Y'all could go on my YouTube channel, search up Hoodrich Credit Pledge Loan Hacks. I explain how a pledge loan works. You get little products like that over time. You let shit like that season on your profile. You know, I say 4 to 6 months, but really 6 months is like the sweet spot for me when I start seeing you being able to get approved for something with Navy Federal. And I got this shit all documented on my YouTube channel. Like yesterday, I had this youngin that I took to the dealership. He followed my blueprint and he got a vehicle. He was a first time buyer. He got a 33K vehicle, 33K auto loan check, and he got approved for a high limit credit card with Navy Federal, which I don't really remember the limit, but they give sweet limits, man. We talking about 10, 15, 20, sometimes 25K credit card limits, man. So Navy Fed is like the first institution I would recommend dropping, a relationship with, man. So,
I like that. I agree with that. I just did a podcast a while ago, and I was talking about my starter cards I would use, and I mentioned Capital One and Discover, but I 100% agree because I said it on camera too. Capital One is cheap as fuck. They'll get you in the dough.
yeah,
They'll get you in the dough, but they are cheap as fuck. You know what I'm saying? I like the Navy Fed sauce. I agree with that. You know,
yeah.
if you can get with Navy Fed, because they'll be the first one to shoot you to Highland. But what's your number two? Like, what if somebody really struggling, like they don't have nobody in the military, they can't get an access code, and let's say we can't do Navy Fed, will be another institution you think they should?
Shit, we could do Discover.
Yeah, I
Discover
like
is a
this.
good
I
institution when it
like
comes to
them.
a secure card. Or if you're a college student, you could get approved for a $500 unsecured credit card limit with Discover, which is very sweet. You don't have to put no deposit because you're in college. Or go with the because sometimes there's certain youngins that get a checking account with a certain financial institution like a credit union or a big bank institution, right? They've been banking with them since before 18, because their parents opened them up an account, you know. And once they turn 18, because you building that relationship with them, they'll approve you for an unsecured credit card limit right off the bat because you built that relationship prior, even if you have a fresh credit profile because you were banking with them. All right. I see sometimes people go with these unknown credit unions. That's why I be telling people go with these credit unions, man. They'll show you love if you show them some love back, if you bank with them, right? People get $1,000 limit. It might not be a high credit card limit because you're just starting your profile, but they'll throw you some 1,000, 1,500 max that I've seen sometimes. But yeah, that's what I would recommend.
Now, what's your opinion on these credit builders? I'm not a fan of them, bro. The
Me
Self
either.
and
Me
Credit
either.
Strong,
Yeah,
fucking Chime and
yeah.
stuff like that. Like, is it you putting your people on that
I
stuff?
don't. I don't really like. Nah, I don't because I don't really like credit builders. The reason why is you're not building a relationship with a financial institution. When you get Self or Kickoff or all these other credit builders, who the fuck you building a relationship with? What other products do they have to offer? Do they have some high limit business credit cards? Nah, you want to build relationships with big financial institutions, y'all, because when you hop on a game with other lenders and they try to get you approved for funding, they see them little credit builder accounts, man. They want to see some big boy accounts with some major institutions. So I don't really like credit builders like that. But if you need to add some shit just to boost up your profile, just to show more accounts, and add some like Kickoff, add some like Rent Reporters, just to have more accounts, just to have your profile a little more stronger. You
See what
know?
I'm saying? Well, this how I know this guy OG. This how I know he an OG. You know what I'm saying? Because I literally just said this on the podcast with Will. That's how I know. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all. Follow his game plan. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He really got it down pat. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And just to hear you kick that, I'm like, see, that's what I'm talking about. Because
Yeah.
we got the new credit cats in the game.
Yeah.
'Cause you OG now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're a young OG. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You're a
yeah.
young OG now. You been shit is about 4 years.
Yeah.
You got some. You
Yeah, I got some time
You
in
got
the
some
game,
rank in the
man.
game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, because here's the thing: the new credit cats coming in screaming Kickoff, screaming Credit Strong,
Yeah,
screaming
yeah.
Self-Limited, and they pounding the content like to get a 700, add these three accounts, and I'm like, damn. So that's why when we look
Yeah,
at
yeah.
profiles and see it's full of Kickoff and Credit
Yeah.
Strong and Chime and shit, and they like, yo, bro, I'm ready for funding.
Nah, man, you're not ready for
Like,
funding.
who told
You're not
you
ready
that?
for big funding. That's what we talking about. Because we trying to bust some real plays. We trying to get to the money. So these, come on, man. These
on.
lenders, they want to see some big
They
shit.
want to see. So I'm like, who told you that? Oh, this
Yeah.
guy right here. Man, that man just that dude who just talked to this credit game just took an ebook that's 4 years old.
Yeah,
And he
yeah,
out
yeah.
here to give it
And he
content.
just hopping in the game,
He just
man.
hopping in the game. But we ain't knocking y'all credit people, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, that is trying to give out information to help people. It's just that if you know you new in the credit game, and I mean like you just got in for a year, 2 years, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I know you want to get your content going, but come tap in with some people that got some years up under their belt so you can really be giving out the proper information that makes sense for when these people want to level up to us big dogs in the game. And we want to make sure that everybody got a similar game plan, a
Yeah.
similar foundation that makes sense to make that thing work. All right, so you said Navy Fed, you know what I'm saying? You said build relationships with either other credit unions
Yeah.
or in the large institutions. All right. Now let's say somebody got their personal credit going. They got about 2 years age, primary,
Yeah.
on their credit report. They feeling they at about 740, and they hit you up. Hey, Hoodrich, you know what I'm saying? I followed your game plan for 2 years. I got down with Navy. I got me a nice little high limit card. I got another card with another bank. I'm 2 years in the game, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm ready for like some business funding or
Yeah.
more personal funding. You know what I'm saying? What game you got for me?
Shit, the first thing I would do, I was get them straight with my Chase rep, man.
There we go.
Get them straight through the Chase relationship manager. A lot of people are not aware of what a relationship manager is, but it's basically someone. It's what it is, a relationship manager in Chase. All right, y'all. They'll do the application for you. It's like a referral. That way you can get a higher credit card limit because locked in with the underwriters. Y'all, underwriters are the ones that process your application. So you're gonna get a higher credit card limit. You're gonna see 50K credit card limits on just one swipe. If you try to go for another one, they might throw you a 75K swipe depending on your credit profile. So I would definitely, get them locked in with the big business funding first with Chase. That 0% interest for 12 months is very sweet. You can bust a play for a whole year, not having to pay interest, on that credit card balance, right? This is why I like credit cards, man. So that's the first play I would do. And then also too, I would recommend them right after, because them inquiries might hit on Experian. And when Experian, you could get those inquiries removed in 24 hours. You call up the phone with the representatives, get them shit swept off in 24 hours. And then now you move on to credit stacking. You can get multiple credit cards at once, y'all. So I always say there's like a 2-computer play. This is what I came up with, where you could open up multiple tabs on 2 computers and then process the applications at the same time. So let's say, for example, I pull up 2 tabs on one computer, right? And I get the other computer, I pull up another 2 tabs. I pre-fill in the applications on all 4 of those applications. I get a family member right next to me on one computer. I'm on the other computer, right? And I have the submit buttons ready. We click submit, 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 submit at the same time, process 4 applications. And inquiries take about 5 to 10 seconds for the inquiries to post. And institutions are very sensitive when it comes to recent inquiries, but they didn't see the inquiries because you submitted them at the same time. You processed the applications at the same time, And these are obviously credit cards that there's a high chance of you getting approved for. You do this shit with some like TransUnion, you do this shit with Experian, and you do this shit with Equifax. This is how you stack multiple credit cards at the same time. So that's a little play that I teach people.
So the credit card stacking game still busting. It's like you said, the multiple tab, and you can hit it and boom.
And then also too, if you add some institutions in there that allow you to double dip, now that's a game changer. Shit, double dipping is basically, let's say you apply for a product, right? A credit card. They'll use that same inquiry that you use for that credit card to apply for something like an auto loan or another credit card, So those institutions typically are credit unions. You're not going to see a big bank, offer double dipping, man. So, that's
yeah.
really
One will be killing me was Amex. He know how to get busy with Amex. Like when he get approved for one, he know how to go get like 3, 4, 5 Amex.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's one of the main institutes that they should double dip. I can't think off the top of my head how many other ones, but I know you right with the credit union.
Shit, I've gotten people 3 credit cards on the business side with Amex, man, because they already got that personal inquiry on their credit report. So when they move on to business funding, you get a Amex Gold card on the business side. You get an Amex Biz Platinum. And then also, too, you get a revolving credit card, like the Amex Business Cash, The gold card and the platinum card, they kind of like revolving cards now with that pay over time feature. But you can get them 3 swipes all at once, So, or also, too, another little play that I want to give y'all is the credit cards that allow you to pre-qualify before accepting the card. For example, the GM Rewards Business Credit Card, GM Rewards Personal Credit Card, something like the Apple Card, which is something like you could do this shit with Truist as well. You could get the pre-qualifications pulled up, and before accepting those offers, you can go to all 3 of your credit reports, freeze all 3, and then go accept those offers at the same time. Now you got those credit cards out the way with no harple to your credit report. Now you can do that 2-computer stacking play that I teach people. So that's something light that you can run, man.
He said that's light.
That's light, yeah, it's light, man.
He said that's light, guys. That's for the podcast. Y'all can have that one, but they can have that one for the house.
Yeah, they can have that on the house.
They can have that one on the house. Bro said that's light work. I'm in this whole like, damn, hold on, man.
I feel like I'm rapping, man. We actually like rappers now, man, with chains on and shit. The way I be speaking this credit game.
You know what I'm saying?
Going back to back.
But see, the thing is, we got our rappers out here rapping lyrics that ain't getting nobody nowhere. You
Yeah.
rapping some sauce
Yeah.
to make sure motherfuckers don't get lost,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
can turn it to a motherfucking boss. You know what I'm talking
Exactly.
about? You know what I'm saying? That's what you
Exactly,
doing
man.
right now. So hey, that's that flow. I like to see you in that bag like that. So start off with the Chase big bag.
Exactly.
And then run that play you said, and then credit card stack it up. If y'all got lost in that sauce, don't worry. You know, Hoodrich, we gonna make sure y'all his YouTube, and I'm gonna have his information description and shit. Y'all hit him up directly,
Yeah.
so he can really like sit down with you, and, like, you know, make sure you get your game tight. Start off with the Chase bag, then we gonna go into some more funding. What about loans? You fuck with any loans? Personal loans, business
too.
loans? You fuck with personal
I
loans?
do fuck with personal
Or
loans.
business loans?
I like business loans.
Okay,
man.
tell
Or
me
I
about
like
that.
business lines of credit.
There we
That's
go.
like my favorite product. But business lines of credit are more difficult to get approved for. So like for the people that have a profile where, how do I say it? It's or a business that's not really making a lot of revenue, I would recommend them to go with the business credit cards because they're not going to really ask for financial statements, you know? But now if you're trying to get approved for business lines of credit, this is for the people that are really making a bag in their business, and they could prove that, okay, tap into the business lines of credit. You already have access to that cash instantly. You don't have to turn your credit into cash with a credit card, you know? But they a little more difficult to get approved for, man. But you could hit up multiple banks, get a 50K business line of credit with some like Key Bank if you in that area. Key Bank is another hitter. So yeah, I like business lines of credit, man.
So that's why people, when they tap in with you, they get their first round with the credit cards and stuff like that.
Exactly.
They need to stay in your program, stay locked in with you, get their paper up so you can show them how to get to that business line.
How to get to that next level.
Yeah, because you know a lot of people get in the credit game and they jump out and they just play with the credit cards, but they
Exactly.
don't be knowing if they stay down, we can show you how to go unlock the lines of
Exactly.
credit. Now you own some. You ain't got to
Exactly.
worry about merchant fees, credit to cash through merchant accounts. You get that business line of credit, you just go snatch that bread
Access
out.
to that cash.
You know what I'm saying? I like that. Well, you got some sauce for us on auto loans. What are people trying to
Auto
get a whip?
loans?
Because I be seeing your
Yeah.
YouTube, you always taking somebody to the car dealership and you
Yeah.
vlogging real results.
Yeah.
You walking boys in. I say, man, what is Hoodrich? I'm watching at the house. He like, yeah, I got my homie with me. I'm finna go in this hole. We finna, what you say? I'm finna bang this motherfucker up inside this, inside this dealership. And I'm finna show these dealers how we do this shit. And you'll walk, you know, your
Exactly.
people in there, show them what to do. And you got them with the keys, and then you outside talking shit in the parking lot, like I told y'all.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna come in here and do that.
Yeah.
So man, drop some sauce for our people. How you really getting people
Yeah.
right with the auto loans?
And that content really go crazy, man. When I go to the dealerships, man, they go crazy over that
Yeah.
content. To this day, they telling me drop more auto loan dealership videos, auto loan dealership vlogs, man. But you know, a little sauce to it, man, is I always tell people get your finance if you're trying to get a vehicle directly with your financial institution first before you head to the dealership, man, because you'll get only one hard pull, and then especially if you're building a relationship with that financial institution, you're gonna get a lower interest rate, and then it's gonna be to your best benefit. If you were to go to dealership, they have relationships with a lot of financial institutions where the deal might not be in your best favor, but they trying to make a check off the back end because off each referral they get a check. You know, so I would definitely recommend y'all go with y'all financial institution, get financing, and then go to the dealership. Don't go to the dealership first, all right, y'all? So sometimes, you know, just for content, we might pull up to the dealership first, you know, and just to see like the numbers. And then sometimes they come up with some crazy ass numbers, man. They come up with like, last time I had did a TikTok that went viral. There was some dude, man, this shit got like 15 million views, man.
Word?
Yeah. It was a TikTok where some dude was looking at one of my homeboys was trying to get a Hellcat, and he pulled up all the fees, and this dude was charging fees out the ass. Tropical Advantage plan, 5K, some extra shit, man, like a bunch of dumb shit, which marked up the car like 12, 13 bands.
Word.
You know? So that shit went viral, man. Everybody was dropping content on that, remixing it and everything. And yeah, man. So that's the type of content that really goes viral nowadays.
Because you already know, like you're saying, they need to get their approval letters before they go in there. Because what the car dealership gonna do to your credit if you go in there without it?
They gonna shop that shit to China. They gonna shop that shit everywhere, man. All over the place. And you're gonna have multiple hard inquiries on your credit
About how
report.
many inquiries they'll tear you up with?
Shit, they'll probably tear you up with like a nice 5 to 8 sometimes. I've heard 8, you know, sometimes. I'm like, damn, bro, they shopping your credit all around.
You know what I'm
Passed
saying?
up.
For real.
So-
Any little sauce you want to give them? Any banks any financial institution banks you recommend for the auto loans?
For the auto loans, okay. The auto loan, this is if you're trying to avoid some pay stubs, all right? If you're not trying to show your financial statements, go with something like PenFed. You could pre-qualify with PenFed, and they'll show you what they'll be able to approve you and the interest rate that they'll give you, all right, y'all? So go PenFed. I love Chase because you could pre-qualify with Chase. And then also to Navy Fed, obviously. If you have a relationship with Navy Fed, they're very sweet when it comes to auto loans, especially for first-time buyers. If you're a first-time buyer, build a relationship with something like Navy Fed. You know, I've tried, like, trust me, I know a bunch of credit unions out here, man, but credit unions, they very big on pay stubs. They love to ask for them pay stubs, you know. Some, like, for example, Space Coast Credit Union, you know. My homeboy had a relationship with Space Coast Credit Union for a long time, and they still asking for some pay stubs. But as soon as I got him in the door with Navy and he asked for auto loan with Navy, no pay stubs. They'll never ask. So yeah, that's the institution that I like: PenFed, Chase, and Navy.
Good sauce. So man, you didn't shit. We finna get ready to wrap this up, but you didn't walk through some shit, man.
Yeah.
You didn't walk through what moves they need to make to build it up at the beginning of the credit. Shit, what moves they need to make on the business credit side.
Yeah.
What they need to do if they want to get up to business lines of credit. You didn't told them how to get a whip. You know what I'm saying?
Told them everything, the whole blueprint, man.
I'm about to say, did you leave anything? All right. You got any more gems you want to drop for
I
them?
mean, shit, yeah, but that's for the exclusive shit. You know
All
what I
right,
mean?
let's get into that then when we get out of here, man. Tell people, you know what I'm saying, what you got coming in the future, where they can get that exclusive sauce, where they can get more details in your next plays that you got coming up. I know you got a community.
Yeah.
That you want people to tap into that. Any products, digital products, community, or YouTube, just go ahead and tell people.
I got a whole new school community, man, where I'm just offering the most value that I can, man, because the name of the game is adding value to the people, man. So I do have a school community right now. Y'all can go on my Instagram, on my YouTube, go to my links, man. Check out what I have to offer. Like, for example, I got young cats, you know, because I'm in tune with the young cats, man, that's popping a game off with something like the car rental sauce. I got my guy BR the CEO. He's deep into the car rental sauce. So I'm adding, you know, courses of his to my school community. That way you guys can turn your credit into cash. Because once you get access to the credit, which I'm gonna teach you in the school community, what the fuck are you gonna do with the credit? You got access to the cash, but what are you gonna do now? You get what I'm saying? That's where people get stuck. You got access to the funding, but you don't know what the fuck to do. So that's why I got, you know, a couple homeboys that's deep into the credit game and deep into the business game in general, where they'll show you how to turn the credit into cash. All right, y'all. So I'm teaching that. I'm teaching people how to get their first LLC. I'm teaching the whole blueprint about the credit game. You're going to be situated with that. All right. You're going to get the funding, but then now you got to move that over to some real business. And also, too, I'm offering free credit repair in there as well. So as soon as you sign up, if you got some negatives on your credit report, shit, we'll get them shit sweeped off. So it's a whole step-by-step process. Bad credit, cleaned. Funding, taken care of. Now you need to tap in with a business. Okay, you tap in with my connections. You know.
And that's love, doing a free credit repair and like really getting people in position. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and drop real quick.
And my fault to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
So also too, on my site, y'all go tap in. I got a free credit course as well on there, just for the beginners out there that's just trying to get an idea of how credit works. Tap into my link right there. You get the free credit course, man, and you'll get an idea of how this credit shit works. That way you could see if you really fuck with this shit and see, okay, let me tap in with Hoodrich. Let me really tap in.
Yeah, because that's what I was just about to say. I'm going to have it in the descriptions here on YouTube and that, but if you want to just throw it out there, I'm going to have my editors, you know, put your stuff on there. The handle on Instagram or TikTok or the YouTube, what is Hoodrich Credit?
Yeah,
everything?
Hoodrich Credit on all platforms, man. And for the people out there, you know, that's my camera. Y'all tap in with Mr. CJU, man. He deep into the game. He an OG, and he knows what he's talking about, man. So I really recommend to tap in with him.
For sure, bro. And I appreciate you, bro. And just seeing your journey from 18 years old to being the young OG now, bro. To see my Get It Out the Mud blueprint video with the chains on to inspire, you know, us to look like this when you up.
Man, that shit turned me up, man. As soon as I seen that shit.
You know what I'm saying? I was iced up, and I say, man, I'm finna drip on these boys.
I said, chains? I said, he talking about credit? Oh,
man,
nah.
I say, yo, man, I said, it's 2019. End of 2019, I'm finna give y'all the 2020 blueprint. Yeah. And I told everybody.
And you was the only one doing it at the time, man. I swear to God. Like, everything that I searched up with credit when it came to YouTube, just straight suit and ties, man. People on a desk, you know, just talking bull, like, you know, just boring, man. Like, fall asleep on their ass.
It was boring
as
for
soon
me.
as I tapped in with your content, you pulling up with chains on, you got the board, man. This shit. Yeah,
That video is a game.
That shit was lit,
in
man.
the streets, bro, to get it out the mud
Yeah.
blueprint.
Get it
Still
out the
going
mud
pla-
blueprint.
It's still going platinum right
Yeah.
now, bro.
You still
People-
get comments to this day?
Oh, to this day, bro. To this day, bro.
That was a
because-
minute ago too,
Bro,
man.
to this day, bro, we still get people hit us up talk about that video. Get out the mud blueprint. But I'm just so happy to inspire people. You know, look around the internet, everybody got chains on now. Everybody iced
Yeah.
up now. And like, I'm just happy to be one of the people to pave the way for that. I don't
Yeah.
want the credit, like, look at everybody copying me. Ain't nobody copying me. This
Yeah, yeah.
us. This our
Yeah.
culture.
Exactly.
This what we doing, and just to be early in the game and just impact, and then to see you take it to this level. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. The levels you guys are taking it, the younger generation, and y'all are taking this blueprint, because success, you know what I'm saying, follow success. It's a blueprint. You're
Exactly.
supposed to copy, and you're supposed to put your own sauce on it. You're supposed to run something that's already working. And that's what I love what you're doing, what you offer in your school community, and what you going crazy on with your YouTube, is you give so much free game, bro.
Yeah.
And that's why people rock with you. That's why people want to tap in with you, because they always saying, on calls with me, man, I be watching this guy Hoodrich, and I just be grinning. I watch this guy Hoodrich YouTube, and I be like, damn, bro, his impact is really reaching people all across the nation, and they even telling me about it, because they always saying you always giving so much free game and free value. And I know you finna go even crazier that in your school community when people really tap in with you. Because that's one thing about Hoodrich. This guy just gonna deliver and deliver free value before he ever asks for $1. And that's how I started.
Yeah.
I gave the game for free on YouTube to get everybody mindset right,
Yeah.
and to give them that, okay, this is what I want to do. And just to see you following that blueprint, I'm giving first.
Yeah.
Giving value first. And then the money gonna come right behind the value,
Exactly,
bro.
man.
You know what I'm saying? So any last words for the people? I know you drop sauce where they can get to you and stuff, but any last word?
I would say this, man, because a lot of people are gonna see this and they're gonna be kind of Chinese about this credit game shit, man. Just hop in that field, learn about this shit. Eventually, this shit will come to you, all right, y'all? Don't get how do I say it? Don't make this shit too complicated, man. Like, you'll get in tune with this shit, man. That's what I would say, man. And really stick to it, you know? So
There we go, full circle. We can't make this shit up. My story to his story, you know what I'm saying? Tonight we sitting here, you know what I'm saying, having our glory. You know what I'm talking about, man? It's your boy, Mr. CJU. We got Hoodrich in the building, man. You know what I'm saying? Great conversation, great time. Look in the description. We're going to have all the information where y'all can reach out to my dog and tap into what he got going on and keep this thing rolling, man. Y'all already know till next time, it's your boy, Mr. CJU. Hap.
y'all have a good day the Hoodrich way. Go on.